Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. My name is Dr. Clay Elliott and I am a technical consultant within Purina Animal Nutrition. And we are certainly glad to be able to visit with you folks today.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Maggie Amburgey. I am coming to you live from Central Kentucky, and I am a small ruminant technical specialist within Purina, and I work alongside Clay.
I wanted to start off by visiting with you folks about some of the questions that I have been dealing with here the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Once this weather has rolled in here, the cold snap, and boy, we have been overwhelmed with calls and questions with ewes and does that are going down end of parturition or end of gestation and right before parturition. And sounds to me like we have a tremendous amount of those females that are dealing with hypocalcemia and ketosis. And the questions that I've had relative to that is they've had a few go down and they want to know, well, okay, how do we prevent the rest? What can we do to help ourselves to hopefully stay out of trouble? And I can tell you that is a hard question. And if you folks have dealt with ketosis, you know that it is a challenge because those mamas are down. You've got to supplement them with all the extra calcium, the energy, the propylene glycol, the fats, all of that sort of stuff to try to help keep them going. And I know that it's extra work and that's piled up on top of the extra work that the weather has provided. And so it is a challenge. How do we prevent it? That, you know, you're once you have it, you need to get your vet involved. But how do we prevent it? And we can do that nutritionally. And at my house, I can tell you that the use of the Wind and Rain sheep mineral or the Purina goat mineral that has a higher level of calcium in it tends to help prevent. Not necessarily going to tell you that it's going to keep it all away, but it'll certainly relieve some of the issues. And the reason that it does is calcium or hypocalcemia happens when those babies are late in term and they're growing so rapidly that they're pulling calcium from mom's bones. And so her joints begin to hurt. She lays down and then she's weak. She can't get herself back up. As soon as she goes down, why ketosis rolls in because she has likely skipped a meal. She has not kept up with her plane of nutrition. And the other thing that's going on is those babies are so big in there. This happens generally the last 10 days or so prior to parturition. And so, man, those babies are so big that there's not much room inside mom for nutrition. And so what nutrition she gets really needs to be highly concentrated because she can't consume 6, 7, 8 pounds of feed, grass, hay, etc. per day at this point because she's too full and too heavy. And so really that's where our high fat tubs come into play, those 25 protein, 10% fat tubs that, and they consume a half a pound to a pound per head per day. It doesn't allow those gals to fill up. It keeps small bits of energy coming in regularly. And there's nothing that's more concentrated in fat and energy than what that tub would be with 10% fat. Those extruded nuggets are awesome to help those ewes and does remain stronger and healthier and keep that energy level up. So I can't tell you how important nutrition is right now, but you can't just assume it's going to happen in the next few days. This is something that, folks, you need to plan for. You need to plan ahead for. Good mineral, good plane of nutrition, keeping those gals on a higher energy level the last trimester. It's pretty important. So plan ahead, 45 to 60 days at least prior to parturition. It's much more ideal if you will keep those gals on a quality plane of nutrition throughout gestation. It helps with prenatal programming, and we can talk about that relative to keeping replacements, and all of the things that are important to us are likely already predetermined genetically, but we can't show those genetic predeterminants without the proper plan of nutrition to help those babies express what they're supposed to do. So that's where prenatal programming comes in, and keeping those gals taken care of through gestation, then all the way through parturition. And then once we get those babies on the ground, why lactation plays a huge role. Those moms are still going to be needing tremendous energy to supply the milk level for those babies. So anyway, that's one of the big things that I have been dealing with the last, like I say, couple of weeks once this cold snap has hit. Another thing that I think is very important for you folks to keep in mind is water. You got to keep those waters open, break the ice, keep those gals drinking, because that's what's helping keep them warm. Actually, it helps the digestion process. Digestion creates heat for those gals. So if we can have water and they can get all of the water that they need, and then as you feed them, well, they can create their own heat. So that's very helpful. With that being said, I'm going to turn this over to Maggie, but I first want to say that we have a program going on that is called Proof Pays, and it is an opportunity for each and every one of you folks to check us out, see what Purina has to offer, see where we fit, and you can do it for next to nothing, because we will actually pay you for your data. So I'm going to let Maggie explain that whole program to you, but we're very excited about this opportunity. And this is something that you folks that are out here in this business, man, it's an opportunity to try us, give us a shot, and see what we're talking about. If you don't already know, if you've never tried us, here's a chance. If you already do know what we're talking about with our tubs and mineral, hey, we appreciate your support. We work hard to try to keep you folks happy and creating products that work for us.
Yeah, for sure. First off, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to our Facebook Live. And I want to kind of echo what Clay is talking about with the new Proof Pays program that we have currently going on. So really want to encourage everybody to reach out to their local Purina sales specialist. If you aren't quite sure who your sales specialist may be, feel free to reach out to us, and we'd love to help you get in contact with them. But your local dealers have the ability to participate in this Proof Pays program, where, like Clay said, your sales specialist is just going to collect data on intake of the tubs and performance and your comments that you saw along the way. And then for, your trouble in collecting that data for us and feeding our product, we want your honest feedback. And so we would love to have your data to continue to grow our database. And so that is what the promotional product program that we have going on now is all about. So would love for you guys to all reach out to your local sales specialist in order to be able to take part in that awesome program. Another thing I'd like to talk about, I know it seems really early to be thinking about fly control methods. Actually, if you were paying attention, you would see my power just went out in the middle of all this. So ice storm and snow, but still never too early to be thinking about fly control. If you're in the South, probably, I'm going to guess early March, you need to be thinking about putting fly control out. And if you're in the central Midwest, in early April, you really need to be starting to think about fly control methods and what your plan of attack will be to control flies throughout the spring and summer. So we have an awesome product that we came out with last year called Clarifly. The Centralized Sciences Clarifly is in our Purina sheep mineral. So not only are you feeding mineral and doing them good by feeding mineral, but also you will get your feed through fly control in that mineral already. It works like a charm. I'm going to have Clay share his testimony of fly control. He is in Oklahoma, where flies are like crazy. I hope this good freeze keeps flies at bay this coming spring and summer. But Clay, if you don't mind, share your fly control story there.
You betcha. Well, at one point in time, we had nearly 500 ewes that we were running right here, and we had all of those gals, you know, in April, middle March and early April, they were under the barn. And so, gosh, that's a lot of ewes in a small area. And the manure pack was very dense, and that is perfect for those flies to lay their eggs and have those maggots begin to grow into big, nasty barn flies, house flies. And we've dealt with this problem for probably 10 and 12 years. And we had a fly spray system put into our barns. And they worked okay. Honestly, they worked okay. But when we started testing this product a year and a half ago or so, I shut my fly control down and didn't let the sprayers work. And I just simply used the Clarifly mineral or the Clarifly that we have as a high octane supplement, just as a supplemental program to the feed. And man, the level of fly control that we saw was substantially better and significantly cheaper. Now, that fly control system that I was using with this sprayer was costing me right at $1,100 per month to fill those barrels in all of our barns and have it work. And for 30 days, it worked okay. $1,100 down the drain. And then the next month we'd fill it up and do it again. So if you think about 5, 6, 7 months of that, that's $5,500 to $7,700 worth of money being poured into fly control. That's substantial. And here in Oklahoma, it's needed. And if you live in the South, you live in Texas, whatever, I mean, you need fly control. Even in the North, your fly control period is shorter than ours, but you still need fly control. And when I went this route, I was amazed at the success. We had very few flies, even in July, August, when it's hot, when it can be damp and humid, very few flies. And the cost was right about, for me with nearly 500 ewes, was right about $200 and some per month versus $1,100 and some per month. Now, if you have less ewes, obviously cost is less, but point is I've never used anything that has worked any better that costs me less money. So it's efficient, it works well, and it is cost effective.
Yeah, for sure. I always think that's helpful to kind of put a dollar figure on the cost savings at somebody at Clay's level and how that really helped him. And I can speak for that here on our operation too. We don't have flies quite as bad as Clay, but still fly control is very important. You got to control them. It really can start putting a hole in your pocket if you don't take care of those ewes. Fly control and pest control is a big thing in a management practice that can really improve the health of your flock. So that is fly control. We offer that product in our Purina sheep mineral and also in our Purina sheep balancer, which is a ration balancer that we have that you can put into your own commodity mix there. So we offer it in 2 different products of ours right now, and really wanted to start talking to you guys and start having the conversation about that Clarify fly control.
It's time to get it on your mind. I know that you probably have snow outside right now, but it is time to kind of start thinking about it, because the idea is to get ahead of those flies. Let's get this stuff working prior to fly season, 30 days prior, 45 days prior, and you won't ever see a large influx of flies. That's what's awesome about it. So yeah, great product. We're proud to have it, and it does work. We work very hard. Maggie and I work really hard at creating products that have some purpose, products with a purpose to help us, to help you folks is really what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. Not sure how much you guys know about Clay and myself, but we are also sheep producers just like you guys. So right before this Facebook Live, I came in with afterbirth on my hands. We are lambing out ewes right now. So we have skin in the game just like you all, and we need products that make a difference and have a purpose, like Clay was saying.
Absolutely. We appreciate you folks tuning in today. This is we wanted to just share with you some things that were top of mind for us and some problems that folks were seeing, and just take an opportunity to visit with you folks. So we really appreciate you taking a minute and tuning in and visiting with us. If you have questions, by all means, send some questions to the chat line, and we will definitely answer those. But until next time, we very much appreciate your support. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Stay safe.